Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. Now in the new post-buffs and post-nerfs meta, I decided to take my good old Face Hunter deck to the ladder and see how Face Hunter is doing, because Face Hunter is not seeing a ton of play at the moment, but I went just with my old list and I had a pretty decent time with this 60% win rate, overall going quite okay. So what does this deck do? Well, it runs high deep trogs, it runs with your slithered spears. It's still important to get on the board at the start, then to buff up your minions, Doggy Biscuit, Ramming Mount, use those buffed up minions to deal initial damage, and then after that you will have spells and you will have your hero power and you have some weapons to finish the game. You also have another way to get on the board in addition to your 1-drops, especially when you're on the coin. When you're on the coin, this is pretty hilarious, because on the coin you can coin Mercwarder Scribe on 1, Battlecry the next spell you play costs 1 less, and then on 2 play the discounted Naga's Pride, so that you will have a 3-2 on 1 and a pair of 3 trees on 2, and that's pretty much the high roll opening of this deck. Pretty fun way to get on the board. And after that board fight stage, you have Twin Bow, Terror Coil, Battlecry. If you cast a spell while holding this, your next spell casts twice. And well, there are lots of good spells to cast twice. A couple that I would like to point out. First, the interaction with Barbed Nets. The way the Barbed Nets works is that the second cast is always going to target the first initial target, same first target, and you get to choose the second target again. So keep that in mind in case you want to use that, so don't target the 2 health minion or something first. And then Piercing Shot. Piercing Shot is hilarious, because the first Piercing Shot, hopefully it's going to kill the minion, and then deal some face damage, and then the second Piercing Shot, it's going to land on a 0 health minion, so it's just going to deal 6 damage to the face. And yeah, that Terror Coil followed up by Piercing Shot, that's one of the biggest burst damage combos available to this deck. As for the mulligans with this deck, well, getting on the board. High Deep Trog, which is Slither Spear. If you have those, then buffs, Doggy Biscuits, Ramming Mounts, and also that Mercwarder Scribe Naga's Pride combo. If you're on the coin, if you happen to be offered them both, any Naga and Naga's Pride is still worth it if you're on the play as well. And yeah, you just open up from there. Now that I took a bit closer look in the statistics of this deck, I noticed that Crush Claw Enforcer is clearly the weakest card in this deck right now, so I would have to figure out something for that one. I don't have a complete answer yet. Maybe the 2-cost Naga that gives you +1 spell damage could replace the Crush Claw Enforcers. That might even be an improvement. Other than that, everything seems to be really well in place, but those 2 slots, 2 Crush Claw Enforcers, figuring out something for those, at least that could still improve something. Maybe Blademaster Okani, I'm a little unconvinced whether that's really going to stay or not. Yeah, a couple of card slots left, a little bit of fine-tuning still possible, but overall, Face Hunter, not great in the current meta, but it is playable, and this is what it looks like in action. Iron Deep Mine is mine! Well, priest. Well, priests always run double shard nowadays, so I guess this lonely little trog, it's not going to be a big deal. I still have to try to buff it and use it to hit some face, but it is what it is. Shard incoming. No shard. Okay. And I think we're going to do it like this. Now I have cast a spell while holding this, so I get the double piercing shot. I think this is Boar Priest. Double piercing shot on boars. It's actually not that bad. Because double piercing shot on a boar would be 11 damage. Okay. That's still a ton of damage. Was that really good? So this would now be 10. 15 here. That puts them down to 6. If I do this one, This one's also 10. But it's going to be more useful later on. Just look at this. That piercing shot. So I have 7 from hand right now, which isn't enough to kill them. Most of the time anyway. But it is today. And it actually wasn't even a Boar Priest, it was Silence Priest, but hey. Pow. I think we need to find a 1-drop to go with this biscuit. If it's Murlocs, then Coin Bloodseeker can kill the 1-2 if they have that on 1. So in theory we could get a good game from there. But we'll see. I haven't gotten the Naga's Pride a single time. It's another control deck. Okay. And no 1-drops. Ouch. This is a little tough. Control deck after control deck after control deck. I could turn this into a 3-4. But I think it's fine. We can do that. It's a little bit more difficult to kill now. Then I have another 3-4 coming. They needed exactly that card. But sometimes they have it, of course. Here we have another 3-4 coming. It's going to draw another Naga. We'll see, we'll see. Problem is I haven't been able to deal any damage yet.
Side effects? No. Trust me.
Well, we can honorably kill that with the Bloodseeker. That's good. Hit here, and I think we're going to hero power. The alternative is to play the Slither Spear. Maybe I'll do the Slither Spear. Let's give that a try. Depends, because in a couple of mana points they will be able to clear boards easily. But right now it's still a little bit harder.
The Queen's trove is forbidden.
Double Barbed Nets. Single Barbed Nets, an honorable kill. That works. Two damage to that. 2 damage to face. They have Vipers, I know. So there's some risks involved. I think that's a risk I'm willing to take. Then we go for the double spells. Okay. Now we have a double piercing shot lined up. And we have this 4-2 weapon. And we have these minions on the board. So like, playing the 3-2 is pretty bad for them right now. Like they play the 3-2 and then this happens. And this happens, and this happens. And all of a sudden they're down to 2 health.
Fresh out of the oven.
They go to 10, but I have lethal from hand. So actually we can challenge control decks too. We have now beaten a couple. But it's like 50-50 so far against that specific archetype. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the content, please click the like button, subscribe to my channel, and check out my Twitch channel.